How much money do you need for financial freedom? That's the question we're going to talk about today. Some of you, it's a lot. And some of you, you're in fantasy island. Your numbers are so far off because you don't have simple formulas that I'm going to give you in the video. So get ready to take some notes and make some decisions. What does financial freedom mean to you? So specifically, we're going to talk about financial freedom as a definition, and then what is your goal? And then I'm going to give you a formula. How do you figure it out? And the kind of 3 common levels that people plan into their financial freedom. So first of all, let's begin. What is financial freedom? Like, really, what is it? And, it's this illustrious big thing. I'm going to be financially free. And honestly, for some people who have no clue, think it might be like $100,000. I won't get you too far. So let's just get to the formula right away. Well, actually, no, I'm going to give you a few goals. I'm going to give you a few definitions that I live by. I think financial freedom is when your assets produce enough cash flow that it pays your expenses and you never have to work again. And if you choose to work, it's because you do it. Now, I've been in that financial freedom world for a very long time, right? People say, well, why are you still doing it? Because I have on a mission. I am so disgusted, quite frankly, with the financial literacy or lack thereof or understanding with money. It's sort of heartbreaking to watch people walk around so broken around money when that doesn't have to be. They just have no literacy and no knowledge. I happen to have it, so it's my mission job to share it. So financial literacy, I think, what is it? What is it to be wealthy? Right? And for some of you that don't have a huge lifestyle, then you have to go backwards and say, well, how many assets do I need? And what do they need to be invested in that I could have enough cash flow to pay my expenses? So let's just use some easy math. If you have $1 million and it's invested at 12%, right? So that's $120,000 a year. Divide by 12, that's $10,000 a month. So is $1 million, right, invested at 12% for $10,000 a month enough for financial freedom? Does that pay your expenses? That's up to you. You may have a huge expense load. Now, you got to be careful here because I'm talking, this is like your combined life. I know a lot of people say, well, is that your personal or is that your business? Well, when I teach you to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have one life, right? You have a personal life. You don't have a personal and a professional life. You have a life. And you're going to include your family and everybody's going to live in this lifestyle called corporate life. So when I flew in my plane, absolutely, a company owned the plane. That company leased it to my core operating company. And it flew me from stage to stage all over the world with my stage team and my video crews and everybody. We flew all over the world together. So one company rented to another company and that company rented to a office that I owned. It was quite the empire that I was running for decades. So how did I get there? Made a lot of money. I put it to work, though. That's the difference. See, a lot of people, you're going to make it and you're just going to spend it. And I can tell you over and over and over and over, I've seen that. And then business owners will come to me in their 50s or 60s. I just had a woman come to me, 63 years old, beautiful commercial cleaning company, makes millions of dollars. She's got a huge crew. And she takes out $30,000 a month. So that's her number. That's what she's used to living on, is $30,000. And I said, well, that's great. But if you want to leave and be done, well, first of all, who's going to buy it? It's highly centralized on you and your brand. So who's going to buy it? And if you want to keep taking $30,000 a month for the next 20 years of your life, you really shouldn't sell it. You need to make enough money to put in a CEO so it can replace you. So that's the strategy. That's why she hired me, and I'm going to mentor her to do that. So we're not going to minimize the company. We got to grow it because we have to grow it into hiring the CEO to replace her so she can pull 30,000 out because that's her Freedom Day number. So when you think about Freedom Day, it really gets to your monthly cash flow. It's not that big. I want to be a millionaire number, a multi-million, or even a billionaire. How much does all of that produce in cash flow to pay bills every month and then to put more money to work? And a lot of you don't run your numbers that way, and I don't know who's teaching you. I'll probably know one. So I hope that helped you. So when I hear people say, I want to be a millionaire, I immediately transition to, well, it's probably going to be around $10,000 a month, right? Unless you have some amazing investments, which, they vary, but we're talking about basic, consistent, you can find anywhere 12%. Those aren't hard to find. I mean, the S&P even does more than that right now, or around that. Now, let's just go down and say, well, if you had 100,000 to put to work, well, how much is that? 100,000 times 12 is 12,000. Divide by 12 is $1,000. So those of you who think a $100,000 company is going to get you very far, can you live on $1,000 a month paying expenses? Probably not. So there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of formulas, but those are my formulas. Pretty easy. Millions, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000. So let's get going. So where do you start? You got to make some money. I have tons of videos about side hustles and just how to start making some money. And you got to put that money to work sooner than later. That's where Freedom Day comes in. And those of you that have kids, that's why I teach 50% of everything a kid makes, you got to put away so they don't end up in this big struggle later in life trying to catch up because they didn't invest their money and put it away properly. So I've talked about the goal, I talked about the formula. Let's just talk in principle about financial freedom. So I use the word financial freedom, and I use a lot of different language. When I started studying money, I noticed there was just really bad language, like the word budget. Budgets are like diets. No one does them, are extremely restrictive. It's just a horrible word. You'll never hear me use that. I actually don't like the word retirement. Retirement is an agricultural word that means to put cattle to pasture to die. It has nothing to do with money, but the whole darn financial world has used, Fidelity uses the little brick green road. Let's go to retirement. Everybody uses this stupid word. I don't like the word. It means to go to pasture to die. And if you actually think you're just going to go home and sit on a lounge chair and watch Netflix originals for the next few years, you're going to die in 2 years. It's statistically proven. And I just don't like it assumes that you have to be old to do it. Right? Freedom Day, you can have any time. You can be a teenager. I've had teenagers be millionaires with Freedom Day. They don't have much expenses, so that's pretty easy to do. I've had Freedom Days in their 20s. So Freedom Days is just a bigger, open word to define that thing called retirement that I just don't like. I don't like that word. Debt. Debt has such a negative connotation, and I immediately define it as, say, debt's the cost of money. It's fine to have debt. In fact, I encourage people to have proper debt. Not bad debt, but really good debt. Leveraged properly, you'll be a millionaire faster. So I just wanted to give you little definitions in the world. And Freedom Day should be something that you and your family consider. And all of you be doing these formulas. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out, not right now till the end of my video, but have your family, and they're different ones. There's a compounding power of money calculators all over the internet. Some are really defined to real estate. Some are for the stock market. Some are better oriented to kids. So you got to look around and play with them, but you'll find one that works for you and your family, and just put in some numbers. If you put $1,000 away a month and invest it at 12%, what that's going to get you in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Start seeing the compounding power of money. And the rule of 72 is how fast can you double your money? Most people's average is you can double your money every 7 years. Well, I know some strategies to speed that up to about 5 years. So if you can start doubling and doubling and doubling, this game's over pretty quickly for you, meaning you don't have to work. So let's go in now to the three kinds of, formulas that people live by. Most people can't live another month without a paycheck. That has to be a scary damn way to live. I couldn't even imagine it, right? And you don't know, but where your next, I shouldn't say meal's coming from, but how are you even going to pay rent? But a lot of people live that way. It's shocking. Actually, more than 80% of the country right now lives that way. The second one is having enough money to quit your job. And I have great formulas for that. You don't replace your income, you replace some cash flow. So that's kind of fun. Before I tell you that though, if you're interested in this and you really want some, I'm going to say mentoring and coaching, I want you to comment and say, please help me. This is the areas I want. I want Freedom Day in how many years, what your numbers are, and we'll help you get there. So inside number two, right, having enough money to quit your job. Let me just quickly give you that formula. So it's not replacing your income. It's replacing your take-home pay at 50%. So if you make $60,000 and you take home $4,000, your business on the side, right, is going to be, and you're going to have enough revenue that once you start making $2,000, because remember, you're given 40 hours a week over here, and you're only given maybe 20 over here, that once you get your business up to $2,000, and you only need to replace because you're used to living on $4,000, then you quit and you jump and you start a business. Now, if you don't want a business, because I can promise you, you're going to go way past that 4,000. I mean, most of my clients that do that exact formula go from 2 to 6. Now you have extra money. Now you don't spend it on lifestyle stuff. You go get incorporated, you get a database, you do all these growth things to build this company. Now, if quitting your job and having enough money to start a business is not what you want, and you just want to have your job and be done, then I pray to God you have put a ton of money into that 401k, and that you can self-direct that 401k. And again, I play with those numbers and say you don't want to start a business, you just want to be done. Well, if you only have $400,000 put away in that 401k and you want to quit, let's just do the math again. So if you had $400,000 in an IRA and you quit today, And then you self-directed it, and you could figure out a way to put it to work at 12%. You'd have 48,000 divided by 12 is 4,000 a month. For some of you, 4,000 a month might be a great income. And later in life, right? Later in life, you might get a little social insecurity on top of that, and you might be fine. But for some of you who want to live more than $4,000 a month and you're used to it, 400 is not enough. So there are strategies to do that. I highly encourage you just to stay active in life. I have a guy, I tell you, final story before I complete. I have a guy, true story, in Ohio. He's been a client for years, but was an engineer, wanted to keep, building in that 401k. They have an amazing plan. And he had a huge lifetime benefit pension, which you got to stay for that. So I met him about 2 years before. So he's been free for a while. So now he's just got a love for green. So now in his basement, he's creating this beautiful, amazing plastic recycling business. And here he is, I don't even know, 60s. Coolest guy. I have to show you pictures of it. It is the most beautiful stuff. Right now we're working with some other engineers and architects to make it like a countertop where you can order a plastic recycled, like the little bags you get at the grocery store, recycled, the Coke bottles or the alcohol bottles, all recycled down into this beautiful material. So you never know what you're going to do. I can promise you, if you want to have freedom, you will never retire. Not in my world. You're going to have fun. So if you're loving this, again, got more conversations every day, say subscribed and get the notifications. And go get right now at chapter 1, 2, and 3 of my Millionaire Maker book. That's how we're going to do this, because I want to know who you are. I want you to click on the link in the description. You're going to pop up and read 1, 2, 3. It's going to take you like a minute, maybe a few. And then it's going to have a gap analysis at the end. I want to know who you are. Where are you now? What is your Freedom Day goal? And then I'm going to move you into one-on-one consult with one of my amazing team members who are really going to assess what you are. Let's define your goal. Let's get you a formula, and let's get busy working on it. Look forward to it.